The evening air was thick with the scent of rain-soaked concrete and blooming jasmine as I stepped onto the balcony for a breath of fresh air. I had just come from an exhausting day at school, filled with relentless lectures and the unending pressure of exams looming over my head. The fluorescent lights of the classroom had left me feeling drained, each tick of the clock a reminder of the impending deadlines and expectations. My mom had decided to host a small gathering that night, and the laughter and chatter wafted up from the living room, punctuated by the clinking of glasses. I needed a moment of solitude to clear my mind and escape the vibrant chaos that filled our home. As I pushed the sliding door ajar, the cool breeze tousled my hair, and I took a deep breath, savoring the quiet contrast to the lively atmosphere inside. I leaned against the railing, gazing down at the street below. The world was painted in shades of twilight, the sky a canvas of deep indigo dotted with stars that twinkled like distant diamonds. The soft murmur of voices from the gathering inside faded as I focused on the serene beauty of the night, allowing the cool air to wash away the stress that had accumulated throughout the day. That's when I noticed her. Leaning against the railing, hair blown wild by the wind, was my mom's friend, Lily. She was always vibrant and full of energy, her laughter ringing like a bell and her movements animated, as if every word she spoke was accompanied by a dance. But tonight, her demeanor was different. She looked pensive, almost lost, staring out at the horizon as if searching for something just beyond her reach. The soft glow from the living room illuminated her profile, casting gentle shadows on her face, highlighting the slight furrow of her brow. I stopped, momentarily frozen. "Lily," I called out, unsure of what to say. My voice felt like a pebble tossed into a still pond, causing ripples in the quiet night. She turned, her expression shifting from surprise to a mix of relief and embarrassment. "Oh, I didn't expect you home so soon," she said, her voice a lilting melody that contrasted with the somber atmosphere. "I needed air." Her eyes searched mine, weighing something unspoken between us, a silent plea for understanding. I shifted my weight, leaning casually against the railing. "You okay?" I asked, concern threading through my voice. It wasn't like her to seek solitude, especially not at my house, during a gathering that she had chosen to attend. Lily had always been the life of the party, effortlessly weaving through conversations and drawing people in with her magnetic personality. Lily hesitated, her gaze flickering back to the street below, as if the answers to her turmoil lay there, hidden among the shadows. "Just needed a moment away from everything," she finally admitted, her tone light but her eyes betraying a deeper struggle. "You know how these gatherings can get. Sometimes it's just too much." I nodded, understanding the social exhaustion that could creep in after too long amidst laughter and small talk. "I get that," I replied, "but you should be having fun. Everyone's inside, and they miss you." She chuckled softly, a sound that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Fun is subjective, I suppose." Her voice was laced with a hint of melancholy, and I felt the distance between us begin to close as I sensed her vulnerability. I stepped closer, the chill of the evening air wrapping around us like a shroud. "What's really going on?" I pressed gently, my heart aching for her. "You can talk to me." Lily turned to face me fully, her expression softening, as if she had been given permission to share her thoughts. "It's just life, you know? Sometimes it feels like you're drowning in expectations and responsibilities. It's overwhelming." She sighed, her shoulders slumping slightly. "You're too young to understand, but adulthood can be a real trap." I shrugged, unsure of how to respond to her vulnerability. "I think I understand more than you think," I said, a hint of defiance in my voice. "School can feel like a trap sometimes, too, with grades and college applications hanging over my head like a storm cloud." She smiled faintly, her lips curling but her eyes revealing a deeper sadness. "You're right. It's easy to forget that everyone has their own struggles." The way she spoke made me realize that even the most vibrant people could feel weighed down. The wind picked up, rustling the leaves of the nearby trees and sending a chill through the air. I shifted again, trying to find the right words to keep the conversation flowing. Is it something specific? I ventured, feeling intrusive but compelled to know more about what was troubling her. Lily's gaze drifted back to the street, her expression distant. It's complicated, she murmured almost to herself. Sometimes it feels like I'm trapped in a role I never wanted. I love your mom, and I love being here, but sometimes it's just too much. There are things I want to do, places I want to go. But here I am, stuck. Her honesty struck a chord within me. I had always admired Lily's vivacity and independence, and the notion that she felt trapped was jarring. But you can still do those things, I said gently, hoping to ignite a spark of hope in her. You're not stuck. You have choices. She turned to me, her eyes searching mine as if trying to gauge my sincerity. Do I? She asked, the vulnerability in her voice almost palpable. Sometimes it feels like the choices are all made for me, and I'm just here. In this moment, I just wanted some air, some space to breathe. I nodded, my heart aching for her. You deserve that, I said softly. Everyone deserves to breathe. For a moment, we stood in silence, the weight of her admission hanging between us, mingling with the cool night air. I could feel the unspoken tension, a thread connecting us as if we were two ships crossing the same turbulent sea. In that moment, I realized that our struggles, though vastly different, were intertwined in the tapestry of life. Do you ever feel that way? She asked suddenly, breaking the stillness. Like you're just going through the motions? I considered her question carefully, reflecting on my own experiences. Sometimes, I confessed, especially when school gets overwhelming. I feel like I'm just trying to keep up, not really living. But I guess I'm still young. I have time to figure it out. Lily smiled again, a genuine smile that lit up her eyes for a brief moment. You do. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You have your whole life ahead of you. Don't rush it. Her words resonated with me, a soothing balm to my own insecurities that often whispered doubts in my mind. What about you? I asked, unable to resist probing further. What's stopping you from living your life? What do you want? She hesitated, her expression shifting as if she were weighing her next words with care. I want to travel, she admitted finally, her voice barely above a whisper. See the world, experience new things. I want to be more than what's expected of me. But I don't know how to break free from what's holding me back. Then do it, I urged, my heart racing with the fervor of youth. What's stopping you? A flicker of something, hope, fear, crossed her face. It's not that simple, she said, shaking her head. There are responsibilities, commitments. I can't just pack a bag and leave. Maybe you can, I pressed, emboldened by her openness. Maybe you just need to take that first step. Start with something small. Lily laughed, a sound that felt both light and heavy as if it carried the weight of her dreams. You're wise beyond your years, she said, a glimmer of admiration in her eyes. I wish it were that easy. The distance between us felt smaller now, the air charged with unspoken possibilities and dreams yet to be realized. What if you started with a weekend trip? I suggested, my mind racing with ideas for her. Just to get away, to feel the air you want? You could go somewhere nearby, just to see if it makes a difference. She considered it, her brow furrowing slightly as the thought took root in her mind. I've never thought about it like that, she admitted. It sounds liberating, like a breath of fresh air. It could be, I said, feeling a surge of excitement at the thought of her taking that leap. You deserve to feel that freedom, even just for a few days. For a moment, her eyes sparkled with something akin to hope, and I could see the wheels turning in her mind as she envisioned the possibilities. Maybe I will, she said slowly, her voice gaining strength. Maybe I will take that weekend trip. The sound of laughter from inside broke the spell, reminding us of the world we had temporarily escaped. I glanced toward the door, then back at her, sensing the weight of the moment. You should head back in, I said gently. They'll wonder where you are. Lily nodded but lingered at the railing, her gaze still distant as if she were caught between two worlds. Thank you for this, she said softly, her voice filled with gratitude. You have a gift for listening. I shrugged, feeling a warmth spread through me at her compliment. I'm just glad you're okay, I replied, my heart swelling with a newfound connection. As she turned to leave, I reached out, catching her wrist lightly. Lily, she paused, looking back at me with curiosity, her expression a mix of hope and uncertainty. Yes, promise me you'll think about that trip, I urged, my voice earnest. You deserve to take that step. Life is too short to feel trapped. Her smile was bright, illuminating the shadows of her earlier melancholy. I promise, she said, the weight of her earlier burden seeming to lift slightly. And maybe I'll take you along one day. I grinned, the idea igniting a sense of adventure within me. I'd like that. We could explore new places together, experience things we've only dreamed about. As she stepped back inside, the warmth of the living room enveloped her. But I stayed on the balcony for a moment longer, the cool air wrapping around me like a comforting blanket. I felt a sense of accomplishment, knowing I had somehow helped her see a glimmer of hope amidst her struggles. The night continued, the laughter and chatter drifting up to me, but I felt different. I had connected with someone I had always admired from afar, and I realized that sometimes all it took was a moment of vulnerability to bridge the gap between two souls. With a new resolve, I stepped back inside, ready to embrace the rest of the night. I hoped Lily would find her way, that she would take the leap she needed. After all, life was too short to be trapped, and sometimes all you needed was a breath of fresh air to remind you of the beauty that lay just beyond the horizon. As I rejoined the party, the laughter and conversation swirled around me like a warm embrace. I felt a renewed sense of purpose, not only for myself but for Lily as well. I wanted her to know that she was capable of so much more than the confines of her current life. I imagined the two of us exploring distant lands, tasting exotic foods, and laughing under foreign skies. The world was vast, and so were the possibilities. With every clink of glasses and every shared story, I felt the weight of my own worries lift just a little. Maybe I wasn't just navigating my own struggles. Maybe I was helping someone else find their way too. That night, as I laughed with friends and enjoyed the company of those I loved, I couldn't help but steal glances at Lily, who was now engaged in conversation with my mom. She seemed lighter, her laughter more genuine, as if a small part of her had been reignited. I hoped that the conversation we had shared on the balcony would linger in her mind, a gentle nudge toward the life she yearned for. In the days that followed, I found myself thinking about our conversation often. I wondered if she had taken my advice to heart, if she was planning that weekend getaway, or perhaps even starting to make plans for a longer journey. I felt a sense of anticipation, as if I were waiting for a seed we had planted together to blossom. One afternoon, as I returned home from school, I noticed Lily's car parked in front of our house. My heart raced with excitement as I dashed up the steps, eager to see her. I found her in the living room with my mom, a vibrant smile lighting up her face as she animatedly shared stories of her recent adventures. "Guess what?" she exclaimed as I entered the room, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "What?" I asked, my curiosity piqued. "I took your advice. I booked a weekend trip to the mountains next month," she announced, her excitement infectious. "I can't believe I'm actually doing it." My heart soared at her words, a wave of pride washing over me. "That's amazing, Lily. I knew you could do it." I felt a rush of joy, knowing that our late-night conversation had sparked something within her. "I even invited a few friends to join me," she added, her smile widening. It's going to be a little adventure, just like you said. I can't wait to feel the fresh air and explore new trails. As she spoke, I could see the energy radiating from her, a vibrant reminder of the vivacious woman I had always admired. It was as though she had shed the weight of her worries and was stepping confidently into a new chapter of her life. Count me in for the next one, I said, feeling a surge of excitement at the thought of joining her on future adventures. She laughed, a sound that echoed with newfound freedom. Absolutely. We'll make it a tradition, she replied, her eyes shining with possibilities. In that moment, I realized that our connection had transformed into something beautiful, a bond forged in vulnerability and understanding. We were no longer just a young girl and her mom's friend. We had become allies in the pursuit of our dreams, supporting one another as we navigated the complexities of life. As the days turned into weeks, I watched with admiration as Lily embraced her newfound sense of adventure. She began sharing stories of her weekend plans, her laughter more frequent, and her spirit more vibrant. It was as if a light had been ignited within her, and I felt grateful to have played a small part in that transformation. One evening, as we sat outside on the balcony, the sky painted in hues of orange and pink as the sun dipped below the horizon, I turned to her with a smile. You know, I think you're going to inspire a lot of people with your journey. She chuckled, her laughter blending with the soft rustle of leaves in the breeze. Maybe, but it's all thanks to you for reminding me that it's never too late to chase after what you want. We sat together in silence for a moment, the weight of our earlier conversation now replaced with a sense of camaraderie and shared dreams. The world felt vast, filled with opportunities waiting to be seized, and I knew that this was just the beginning for both of us. As the stars began to twinkle above, I felt a sense of contentment wash over me. I had discovered something profound that night on the balcony, a connection that went beyond age and experience, a reminder that we were all on this journey together, navigating the complexities of life and supporting one another along the way. The night air was filled with the sweet scent of jasmine, and I breathed it in deeply, feeling alive with possibilities. Life was indeed too short to feel trapped, and sometimes, all it took was a breath of fresh air to remind us of the beauty that lay just beyond the horizon. Each adventure awaited, and together, we would embrace them, step by step, savoring every moment as we forged our paths through the unpredictable journey of life.